everyone. Today I am covering nutrition bars, a super hot topic that has been requested so many times. And I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely a tricky one. There are so many bars out there on the market. And to be honest, most of them have terrible ingredients. So today I'm gonna tell you all about what to look for in a bar so that you know how to find a healthy bar for a snack. Now, first and foremost, it's important to know that when you have a healthy bar, the flavor profile might be a little bit different than what you're used to, but trust me, it's well worth getting used to it rather than having the protein bars that are basically candy bars in a fancy wrapper. So don't trick yourself into thinking you're buying something or eating something healthy just because it has a little bit of protein in there. Chances are, if it comes in a bright, shiny wrapper and it's advertising a ton of protein, that's when you need to flip it over, read the ingredients, and I promise you by the end of this video, you will know exactly what you're looking for. So let's talk about the purpose of a nutrition bar. You absolutely want to have protein, fat, and fiber. These are the three things that are going to keep you full and make you feel satisfied after eating a bar. If you get a bar that is super high in carbohydrates, your blood sugar is going to spike, and then you're going to be left feeling hungry in about 2 hours, which defeats the whole purpose of having a bar. So you want to be careful not to get a bar high in carbohydrates because chances are they're full of sugar, okay? So that's your first tip. Look for a bar that has higher fat, higher protein, and higher fiber. So the second thing that I want you to be aware of is to make sure that you look at the ingredients first. I know those macros on the label look really enticing and easy to read, but you have to dig a little bit deeper and look at the ingredient list. You want to know where the fats are coming from, where the protein's coming from, and where the carbohydrates are coming from, and where the fiber is coming from. Now, this might seem really obvious, but what you want to see are things that you recognize. You want to see nuts and seeds. This is where your fat is primarily going to come from, nuts, seeds, and coconut. For your proteins, you want to see whey or plant-based proteins, and I recommend staying away from soy proteins. It's an endocrine disruptor, and we definitely don't need any more processed soy in our diets. Now, for the fiber, you're going to see all kinds of different fibers, but again, they're going to come from, a lot of times from nuts and seeds. And then, let's see, what else? I guess that's it. Sweeteners. So your sweeteners, you want to make sure that, again, they're natural sources. Things like stevia, monk fruit, dates, and staying away from sucralose and a ton of added sugars. Remember, the more sugar you have, the higher your blood sugar is going to spike, and it's going to then crash down, leaving you grumpy, tired, hungry. And while your blood sugar is elevated, this is a time when your body is most prone to store fat. Bad news. So without further ado, let's dig into some of my favorite bars, and I'll go over some of these ingredients as well, so I point out the good and the bad. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Omega. Now, when you look at a bar, their chances are they're going to call out all of their superstar things right on the label. So this one says that it has 14 grams of grass-fed whey, and this one made it in my top 10 simply because they went that extra step to use grass-fed whey protein. I was super impressed with that. And then 5 grams of sugar, and I absolutely love that as well. My general rule for sugar is less than 10 grams, and my general rule for protein is more than 10 grams. So this guy 100% passes. But again, not just going off of what the label says. When I flip it over and I look at the ingredients, I want to see where is the fat coming from. I know already that the protein is from grass-fed whey. And let's see here, I go into here and the very first ingredient is the grass-fed whey and then chicory root fiber. So as I talked about, fiber is so important. This has 7 grams of fiber. I always want my bars to have at least 5 grams of fiber at a minimum. And then you go through the rest of the ingredients super, super clean. Their sugar is coming from sugar, which is great. Your body knows what to do with sugar. It does not know what to do with artificial sweeteners. We want to keep the artificial out. Another great thing is they have responsibly caught fish oils, and that's where the name is coming from, and the healthy, omega fats in here. So you know this bar is going to help support your your brain, your immune system. It's going to give you the protein, the fiber. It has everything it needs to win top category in my top 10. This is what the bar looks like, and you can see here, it's a little bit chewy. I love the texture of it. Those little crisps in there add a ton, and this is mint chocolate, if you guys could smell this. Amazing with a cup of coffee. Oh, and calories on this one, you guys, are 200. So again, that's perfect for a snack. Overall, this bar definitely gets a thumbs up. Let's see, you guys want to know what the macros are here? So the macros, you guys, on this are 200 calories, total 7 grams of fat, 22 grams of carbohydrate, which 7 are fiber. So you know you can take the fiber and subtract it from the total calories of carbs, and that, or the total count of carbs, and that's going to give you your net carbs. So again, take the total carbs, subtract the fiber, that's going to give you your net carbs. And the total sugars here are 5, so really good, and 14 grams of protein. All right, so the next one I want to talk about is Raw Fusion. I really, really love this bar as well. This one's a little bit difficult to find, but this bar packs a big punch when it comes to superfoods. And again, they call out right there on the label, 16 grams of protein, and this is a plant-based protein, which is fantastic for some of you that are plant-based. High dietary fiber, chia seeds, natural antioxidants, and naturally sweetened. So I know right there, it's already checking so many boxes that are important. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire list of ingredients here because it does get kind of long, but it's pea protein, almond butter, and all of this is organic sunflower butter, organic cranberries, sesame seeds, chia seeds, pumpkin seed protein, beet juice powder, sea salt, acai, dried raspberry, spinach, broccoli, and kale. And it tastes really, really good. So the nutritional profile on this is it's a little higher in the calories. We're up at 290 for this one, but so worth it because it's giving you so much. So the total fat is 11 grams. And again, that's from nuts and seeds. And then the carbs are 33, 7 grams of fiber, 17 grams of sugar. But again, we're going for fruit. This is a little bit high. This would be one that I would kind of nibble on throughout the day, but 16 grams of protein. So this one really kind of borders on a meal versus a big snack, okay? But I absolutely love this bar. And you guys can get this one on Amazon. Again, it's Raw Fusion. And that's the almond berry flavor. So my next favorite, you guys have heard me talk about Garden of Life. I absolutely love everything that Garden of Life does. They always use top-notch ingredients and just really clean company overall. Non-GMO, organic, 13 grams of prebiotic fiber. Guys, I can't stress how important fiber is for your body. It helps to boost your immune health and also your overall gut health. So get some fiber. It's going to fill you up. So good for you. And I love that they call out here 1 gram of sugar. So you go again into the ingredients, and right there, it's the pea protein, almonds. You can see it's got the erythritol, so that's what's sweetening it. It's got stevia as well, sprouted brown rice protein, all kinds of good things in here. Organic tart cherry. I could go on and on, but there's not one ingredient in this bar that I don't love. So Garden of Life, all of their products, you're always safe with that one. And let's see, this one has 7 grams of total fat. It has 27 grams of carbs, 13 grams of fiber, and 14 grams of protein. Superstar. Love this one. Okay, let's talk about the Wolo bar. This guy is fairly new to me, and I actually discovered it at Gelson's. And oh, you guys, so all these bars, you can usually get them at Whole Foods, Sprouts, Gelson's, Lazy Acres. There's all kinds of like natural grocers and places like that. And some of them are popping up in your regular grocery stores as well. But you might have to go the extra stop and look for a health food store to find most of these. But the Wolo bar, this one I got at Sprouts, and I love this guy. Super easy and delicious, and it's kind of meant to travel with. Let me show you what this looks like. So it's got the little crisps on there, and it's kind of got like a, I don't know, chewy top. I don't even know what I call this, but it's delicious, and I love that it doesn't fall apart when you're trying to eat it when you travel. But the ingredients in this one, again, you go straight for the call out, 15 grams of protein, 6 grams of sugar, and gluten-free. Now, when you look into the ingredients, The protein blend is whey protein isolate, milk proteins, whey proteins, pea protein. So it's got a little bit of a mix in there, and then it's got a prebiotic fiber in there, which I just love. The only thing that I don't absolutely love in here is the palm oil. Anytime you see white chocolate, whether it's in a granola or on a bar, chances are it's gonna have palm oil in it. Now, palm oil is something that is literally destroying our rainforest. There are millions of orangutans being killed because of palm oil. So you do want to look and see that it's sustainably farmed palm oil, which is going to be ideal. But you'll notice none of these bars that I'm talking about have canola oil, vegetable oil, soy oil. There are no other oils in my bars other than coconut oil, and a few of them, like I said, this one has the trace amounts of palm kernel oil due to the white chocolate. But overall, in the actual ingredients of the bar, it has coconut oil. So I really, really love that. Great ingredients in here. And on this one, it is 220 calories, so perfect snack size. And it's got 23 carbs. Oh, where's the fat? 10 grams of fat, 23 grams of carbs, 11 grams of fiber. That's super awesome. And 15 grams of protein. So really love the Wolo bar. The lemon cake flavor is so good. Okay, next up, I added this bar in there because I know it's one that you can find easily. No pun intended. I know it's one that you can find. So the one bar, it's not perfect, but again, when you're looking for convenience, sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit. And this one, let's see, what was it? I think it was it's got the palm kernel oil in it, which I just talked about. I'm not a huge fan of that, but other than that, it's got a great nutritional profile and really good in overall ingredients. So this one has 210 calories, 7 grams of total fat. And remember, the fat is gonna help keep you full. If you guys are still on that old school thought process of fat makes you fat, it's time to jump off that bandwagon and realize that fat helps keep you full, and it's so good for you, and especially when it's coming from healthy sources like coconut oil. The total carbs on this one is 22, dietary fiber is 9, and 20 grams of protein. So this one packs a big punch of protein. This is the lemon cake flavor. They make a birthday cake one. That's my favorite. So good. And these are really good to keep in your glove box as well because they won't melt. Most of these bars that I have here, actually all of them are bars that won't melt because they're not coated with a bunch of slimy chocolate. Okay, this one is definite superstar. This is from Genuine Health, and it is a fermented bar. So you guys, fermenting anything in your gut helps to increase the good bacteria. We now live in such a sterile world that everybody's afraid of bacteria, and there is good bacteria that feeds the good bugs in our gut. We want that. So anytime you see something fermented, it's great for the gut. And remember, 80% of your immune system is coming from your gut. So feed those healthy bugs. So this one has 210 calories, 9 grams of fat, 25 grams of carbohydrates with 10 grams of fiber, only 10 grams of sugar, 14 grams of protein. And with the ingredients on this one, the protein blend is actually fermented pea protein, sesame protein, fermented organic brown rice concentrate, and then it also has things like quinoa sprouts, spirulina, mung bean sprouts, and organic rice flour, things like that. Anyway, great ingredient profile on this one, and the taste is fantastic. Now, keep in mind, when I'm recommending these bars, I have a fairly savory palate. I don't love really, really sweet foods. So if you're looking for something a little bit sweeter, this probably isn't going to be for you. But I do recommend you try these because I think you'll love them. Okay. Oh, so here's one that kind of checks the sweet box, the Quest bar. And I included this one in because you can find Quest bars everywhere in every flavor. Now, you do want to be careful with the Quest bars and definitely read the ingredients because some of their bars are sweetened with sucralose and some of them are sweetened with stevia. So this one is one with stevia, and I think it's the new improved. So I think they're leaning more towards going with stevia. And the profile on this one's amazing. It's 10 grams of fat. and 22 carbohydrates, 13 grams of fiber, and 20 grams of protein. So that is super awesome. And they're sweetening theirs with erythritol on this one, which is great. It doesn't spike your insulin. And the protein blend of this one is whey. And then it's got, like I said, pretty much very, very simple ingredients. It's pretty much the corn fiber, which gives it the fiber and protein. So super chewy. This one will definitely keep you full. And again, they're really easy to find. Okay, the Buff Bake. If you're keto, this is one of my favorite for the keto blend. And again, the ingredients are great. And this one has a good example of the palm oil, but it says on there, sustain, let's see, where is it? Let's see. Oh, actually, no, this one does not have, I'll get to that. This one does not have any palm oil in it. So this one's just peanut butter, prebiotic fiber, pea protein, and cocoa nibs. Anyway, really clean ingredients. And this one is sweetened with monk fruit. Monk fruit is probably my favorite sweetener when it comes to a bar. It has just a really clean finish and doesn't leave any aftertaste in your mouth. So this one from Buff Bake is fantastic. Almost there, guys. I got two more. So this is a new one that I just discovered, and I almost didn't buy it because I was feeling it, and it's really hard, and I was like, oh, I don't think this is going to taste good. But the nutritional profile really caught my eye on here. It has only 3 grams of sugar, 5 net carbs, and 9 grams of protein. So when I looked at the ingredients, I was like, wow, that's really good. What's in it? And it is basically almonds, chicory root fiber, cocoa butter, that's where the fat's coming from, pea protein crisps, sunflower seeds, coconut chia seeds, lemon oil, matcha green tea, and stevia. So I'm going to show you guys what this one looks like. I love this. It has such a great flavor, and you can literally see all the seeds and nuts in there. So good. This is the lemon one. I really, really recommend this bar. Gonna finish that with a cup of coffee a little later. And last but not least, anytime you see a bar that lists all the ingredients on the wrapper is a good one. I love this because it says 12 milk protein, 10 cashews, 2 almonds. I thought that was kind of funny. 2 dates, chocolate, and coconut. There's your entire ingredient list. So I definitely love this one. Again, it's from Garden of Life, and it's the Gold Bar. Love this one. And just for a bonus, I wanted to show you guys 2 other cookies that I love that are, again, not perfect, but they are a great snack. This one, Buff Bake. I've been eating these for a while. They are such a great cure for your sweet tooth. And this is the one that has sustainably sourced palm oil in it. So same company that makes the Fuel Bar. And I just love the flavor of these. And they're basically whey protein, peanut butter, and they have some cane sugar in them. But again, when I go to the sugar, you look, oh, it's really important to look at the serving size, you guys. So this package is 1 serving. It has 4 cookies in it, 13 grams of fat, which is obviously coming from the nuts, and the palm oil, sustainably sourced. And then also has 16 grams of carbs, only 2 grams of fiber, kind of a bummer, but again, it's a cookie, and 12 grams of protein. So this one I would look at more for curing my sweet tooth when I'm craving something and I want that crunch rather than looking for a perfect snack. And last but not least, you guys, I love Munk Pack cookies. Now, the ingredients of these are amazing. I'll pick this one because it's my favorite. The gluten-free, dairy-free, plant-based. The only thing with this one is this is 360 calories if you eat the entire cookie, which I do. So this is without a doubt a meal replacement, and you have to be aware of how many calories are in here. Even though the ingredients are really clean and they're really good for you, you can either split this cookie with somebody or just make sure that you allow in your day for calories. And I like to take these with me when I travel. If I'm traveling for a long trip and I know I'm not going to eat a lot during the day, this is a perfect way to stay full, and again, just so good. And the ingredients are peanut butter, dark chocolate chips, pea protein, gluten-free oats, Dutch cocoa powder, potato starch, oat fiber, sunflower oil, not the best, but again, it's a cookie, baking powder, and then really that's it, cinnamon monk fruit extract. So this one, if you eat the whole cookie, it has only 18 grams of fat, and then it has 34 carbs, 6 grams of fiber, is a little high in sugar, has 16 grams of sugar. And then the protein is 18 grams. So definitely a special treat, not an all the time kind of a bar. So you guys, things you wanna look for. Your fats, look for it to come from nuts, seeds, coconut. Your sweeteners, look for it to come from monk fruit or stevia, and avoid things like aspartame, sucralose, and a bunch of artificial syrups and things like that. No good. And then your protein, you want it to come from whey or the plant-based mixes. You're gonna see pea protein. You really can't go too wrong with protein. I personally prefer to avoid soy. And one last thing before I go, I wanna show you guys an example of the world's terrible bars. So I actually have this one blanked out because my goal is not to throw anybody under the bus. This is actually a brand that has some really great products, but they completely missed the boat when it came to the bars. I don't know what they were thinking. And the call out on this bar is that it has really good high quality protein. Unfortunately, everything else in the bar is terrible. So this is an example of what not to look for. You've got the protein blend here, which again is fantastic. First ingredient is whey protein concentrate, whey protein isolate. And I know that this company has great protein. So, and then the second ingredient is vegetable oils. It's got palm kernel oil, and soybean. Terrible. The next thing is soy protein isolate. Not so good. Vegetable glycerin, maltol, sorbitol, corn syrup, sunflower oil, maltodextrin, and you guys, all the stuff that I absolutely can't even pronounce. And it's sweetened with sucralose. So just a heads up, if your bar looks and tastes, I haven't even opened this. They sent it to me with as a sample, and I was like, what are you doing? If your bar looks and tastes like a candy bar, chances are it's full of crap you don't want to eat. So do your homework. Hopefully this will help you guys find a good bar. Don't be afraid of healthy fats. Go low carb, low sugar with the bars, high fiber, high protein. That's it. I will see you guys again for another video soon.